In case you didn't already know it, Elon Musk is a genius. I think everything he's doing is very strategic and it's working. And now we have this breaking news. Twitter is set to accept Musk's $43 billion offer. This is from Reuters. And we have an in-depth breakdown from the Wall Street Journal. Twitter deal could be announced Monday. Turn of events comes days after the billionaire unveiled his $43 billion bid for the social media company. And already, RIP Twitter is trending on Twitter. We have all of the blue check journalists and activists saying, I will leave this platform if Elon Musk buys it. And they won't, just like they didn't go to Canada. My friends, Elon Musk has planned this out. And I think he did it rather quickly. I mean, the instance of this all started with the Babylon Bee getting suspended. Elon Musk then calling up the CEO of the Babylon Bee and saying, "Did you really get suspended over this joke?" And they're like, "Yes." He's like, "I might have to buy Twitter." We have this tweet here from Tim Young. This is from April 14th, right? So this is 11 days ago. He said, "I bet a few people at Twitter HQ are regretting suspending the Babylon Bee." Tim Young is a columnist for the Washington Times, author and host and comedian. And I'd say yes, but it's not about just the Babylon Bee. It's about a pattern of behavior that Twitter engages in, where they seem to think that the healthy conversations are when their psychotic ideologues run around destroying things and screaming at people and insulting them. But when the right says something like, here's a joke, they say, get him out of there. I suppose the idea, this is what some people have said, insiders, they just want civility. That's all they want, civility. Yeah, well, the issue is, in order to reduce the conflict, they said, we just choose one side to get rid of, and it doesn't work. People on the right get angry, the platform suffers, and they lose money. Here's the real issue for me. I am but a humble and small Twitter shareholder. I bought 22 shares when I bought, I think 21. I might have had one. I'm not sure. I think about 22. When Elon Musk came in, I was like, hey, that sounds like a good bet. And I had like $1,000 in my account, and I was like, yeah, I'll buy Twitter, whatever. I didn't think too much of it. I'd certainly like to not lose any money off of that. So when it was announced that Elon Musk wanted to outright buy the whole platform, I was like, good, great, do it. You know, I'll take a little bit extra, but I think, you know, I'll make a little bit of money off these shares, but at least the platform will succeed. Because right now, if they do not allow Elon Musk to fix the platform at 9.2%, then it's a terrible investment and you shouldn't be holding on to it. But let's talk about Elon Musk's brilliant, what would you call it? It's not necessarily like a pincer move. You know, some people have said maybe it is a financial pincer move. The idea being that he approaches them on two fronts, so they have nowhere to go. Maybe. I suppose Elon Musk has put Twitter in a position where they have no choice but to sell, and it is brilliant. You know that Elon planned this out because of the $54.20 number. We can only assume. And because he announced financing on April 20th. Ha 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 ha. Okay, Elon. Okay. Now, there's going to be way more updates on this story later, especially if it's announced that Elon does secure the platform. We'll see who he's going to unban. I mean, he'll own it outright and do whatever he wants. But let me show you the story from the Wall Street Journal. And then we can all sit back and be like, man, Elon Musk, he planned this one out. Let me show you. The Wall Street Journal reports Twitter deal could be announced Monday. Twitter Inc. is in an advanced discussion to sell itself to Elon Musk and could finalize a deal Monday, people familiar with the matter said. A dramatic turn of events just 11 days after the billionaire unveiled his $43 billion bid for the social media company. The two sides worked through the night to hash out a deal that would be valued at $54.20 a share. The people said there are no guarantees they will reach one. Twitter had been expected to rebuff the offer, which Mr. Musk made April 14th without saying how he would pay for it, and put in place a so-called poison pill to block him from increasing his stake. But after Tesla Inc. chief disclosed that he has $46.5 billion in financing and the stock market swooned, Twitter changed its posture and opened the door to negotiations. The Wall Street Journal reported Sunday that Twitter had warmed up to Mr. Musk's proposal and could reach a deal this week. Twitter shares rose more than 5% pre-market Monday. Now, that's something you need to understand. People started buying Twitter shares. I don't know if they... So Twitter is up 3.93% as of this recording of this video. People believe it's going to happen. So look at it this way. If you were to buy in right now at $51 a share, you have a guaranteed $3 gain. That's pretty good. And if you're going to put in, let's just, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars, I mean, that's $3 for every $51. You're going to get free money. So people, of course, are going to buy this up probably until it hits around that number, but we'll see. Because here's the issue. If Twitter then says, we're entertaining this, the price rises to around $54 and then says, we're already at 54 a share in the public market, so we're not going to sell, the price will collapse and people will panic and they'll sell like crazy. Here's where it gets really interesting. Check this out. Musk has said from the beginning that his $54.20 a share offer is his best and final, and he reiterated to Twitter chairman Brett Taylor again in recent days that he won't budge on price, some of the people said. The conversation between the two sides were expected to focus on issues including what Mr. Musk would pay should an agreed deal fall apart before being consummated. Twitter is slated to report first quarter earnings Thursday and had been expected to weigh in on the bid then, if not sooner. Elon Musk, you mad genius. You got him by the balls. Now you got no choice but to sell. You know why? We all know that Twitter is struggling. Their earnings are probably down, or at the very least not meeting expectations. When that report comes out Thursday, the Twitter stock price is likely to fall. You know what that means? The fiduciary duty of the board would be knowing that with the earnings report coming out, that the stock will fall. They have a responsibility to get their shareholders the best deal possible. If they do not take a $54.20 deal, and then on Thursday, they announce earnings were less than, not confidence building, I'll put it that way. Like, it could be bad, it could be okay, and the stock drops. Well, then you're going to have some very, very angry people saying, you could have disclosed all of this to Elon. Elon made you the offer. He could have agreed to it, even knowing that the price would be dropping. So you could have saved us money. The board has no choice. If it is true that the earnings are bad in any way, and the stock price, or for any reason, the stock price would go down, and they know something would drive the price down, they have to take his offer. Otherwise, everybody's going to sue him. They'll get ripped to shreds. The potential turnabout on Twitter's part comes after Mr. Musk met privately Friday with several shareholders of the company to extol the virtues of his proposal while repeating that the board has a yes or no decision to make, according to people familiar with the matter. He also pledged to solve the free speech issues he sees as plaguing the platform and the country more broadly, whether his bid succeeds or not, they said. So look at it this way. Twitter's probably like, we've got an activist investor with a substantial stake. He's going to keep pressing, keep causing issues. Maybe we just walk from this one. Give him what he wants. Avoid lawsuits. Twitter is the public square. Twitter is where people like Taylor Lorenz was able to publish her story doxing leftist critic libs of TikTok and then lie about it. And then the Washington Post lied about it. I will do a special shout out. The other day, I was half jokingly saying, should I buy a billboard in Times Square saying Taylor Lorenz doxed libs of TikTok? Because if they just owned it, I'd be okay. But what makes me mad is the gaslighting. It's like, you want to go on CNN and lie about this. But it was kind of like, what does a guy got to do to, buy a billboard in Times Square? But I'm also willing to do it. So I was like, I framed it. Jeremy Boring of the Daily Wire said, I'm in for half. And I'm like, let's do this. I know we'd be giving Taylor Lorenz a free billboard in Times Square, but I just think a blanket black and white Taylor Lorenz doxed libs of TikTok is all you need. Nothing else. We don't need to say anything else about it. You don't got to you don't got to complicate things. Just keep it simple. But we'll see how that plays out. I'm down. It's time to start getting involved in doing things like that. Also, I think we're going to do a Chicken City commercial in Times Square. But anyway, I digress. Let's read more about what's going on with Twitter. Musk made his pitch to select shareholders in a series of video calls with a focus on actively managed funds, the people said, in hopes that they could sway the company's decision. Mr. Musk said he sees no way Twitter management can get the stock to his offer price on its own, given the issues in the business and a persistent inability to correct them. It couldn't be learned if he detailed specific steps he would take, though he has tweeted about wanting to reduce the platform's reliance on advertising, as well as make simpler changes, such as allowing longer tweets. Is it good for business to step away from an advertising model in exchange for a subscription model? Mr. Musk, I think you don't need me to hear my thoughts on this one. I think you don't need me to express. You don't need to hear my thoughts on this one. There we go. I got it. But let me just say, with the work we were doing, I absolutely regret that we did not launch timcast.com a year sooner. We were making tremendous money via ads. I was producing double the amount of content I'm producing now. And finally, I was like, we need a website. We need to be able to expand. We need to do more than just this YouTube show. So we did. And we've diversified our revenue. But mostly what it does is it protects us from censorship. I should have done it a long time ago. That's what Elon Musk is talking about. Now, in a sense, we lost a lot of ad revenue. I suppose I could re-up all of my content production to the insane amount that I was doing last time. Maybe. I don't know. Sometimes I might feel like it. But I've been exercising more. Really, when I was doing like 4 hours a day of content and no time for exercising. And so I was like wasting away. Now I'm like, I've lost a bunch of weight. I'm really fit. Technically, what's it called? Bradycardia. My resting heart rate is 46. It's down to 4. I have a Whoop. But I was getting my resting heart rate checked, and an alarm started going off. I was like, wah, wah, wah. I was like, your heart rate's too low. And I'm like, yeah, I'm doing good. No, I think exercising is extremely important. But anyway, my point is, Elon Musk's attitude must be, from the way I see it is, you're not going to make as much money if you reduce the amount of ads you take, but you don't need to reduce the amount of ads you take. However, if you ask people to sign up and spend $5 per month on Twitter Blue, I think most people who want to use the platform, be active on it, big accounts like mine. Yeah, I have Twitter Blue. I'll spend $5 a month. I don't care. These big brands like Reuters, Pillsbury, Wendy's, or whatever, they're going to pay for an executive suite. $5 a month. In fact, I got to be honest, people would pay more. But at the minimum tier, $5 a month, you get verified. Now we know you're not a bot. You're a verified user. You get access to the verified, dashboard or whatever. You get special access and things like that. People are going to want to do it. That will help make the platform healthier. In much of this way that these sycophants who run it now, these ideologues, have tried to claim they wanted it to be, they won't. But if you get rid of the bots and you have verified accounts, well, there you go. And this does not mean you need to have a real picture or a real name. It just means we know you're a real person and not someone running 10 different accounts. I like it. Now, Elon Musk is probably thinking if we improve the platform and we add 100 million members at $5 a month, that will make the ads worth more money. So he's got a real strategy. So they've got to take his offer. Let me show you this. Let me show you what really pisses me off. This story from April 23rd. Twitter bans ads that contradict science on climate change. This one actually offended me. I bought 22 shares. I don't think I'm going to break the bank and make billions of dollars. I was like, I think it's a good bet, Now I actually have confidence in the company and I want to see how it does. So I put $1,000 behind it. Banning ads that contradict science on climate change. Okay, that's political. Why is Twitter rejecting money? Someone says, I want to run an ad. Twitter should be like, okay, as long as it's not illegal. Now, there's some things I think would be in the upholding their fiduciary duties. That is, if Twitter banned ads that showed aborted fetuses or something, I'd be like, it's political, but I can understand why they wouldn't want to display sensitive imagery that could drive people off the platform. Now, you may disagree and think they should be allowed to run ads that do that. The problem is those ads appearing, in front of people. So I suppose you could opt into sensitive content, but then who determines what is sensitive or not? That's challenging. I think that if Twitter said we're not going to allow that, they'd probably win in court saying we would lose users if we showed that. I think that's a fair point because I don't want to see it either. I know about it and I get it. And maybe you might argue that people need to see it to understand these issues, but that one's a tough one. Climate change? This is a political debate. I mean, you might be upset and think that it's annoying that in politics, science gets rejected. I think climate change is an issue. I think humans are having a big impact on the planet. I think we should be cognizant of what's going on. And I think the best you can do is look to the science, even when it's just consensus and there's no, I don't think consensus is science, but I do believe humans should be more responsible. For whatever reason, I don't care if like some people are like, they don't think climate change is an issue. They don't think overpopulation is an issue. And I'm like, those don't really move the needle for me anyway. I think we should have cleaner forms of energy, better, longer lasting forms of energy. I think we should do our best to protect trees and the environment and avoid oil spills and all that stuff. And then I'm like, you guys can have the climate change argument somewhere else. If we can just agree like, hey, we don't want oil spills, we don't want pollution. Everybody basically agrees on that. So I'm cool, right? I see this and I'm just like, they're just throwing away money. Twitter is just throwing away money. Now, hold on there a minute. That's going to hurt the company. If somebody wants to buy an ad that says, like, I disagree, they should be allowed to do it. It's not the first time they've done that. We got a bunch of stories. Twitter will ban all political ads. CEO Jack Dorsey says, why? Why? Oh, because of Russia. Because of Russia. Twitter bans ads from Russian state media citing election interference efforts. Why? Is China allowed to run ads? Did you ban them? You can't just ban one country and be like, well, we're going to ban the one country because of this. No. They and you know what? I can tell you how bad it really, look at this one. From 2018, March 26th, Twitter bans cryptocurrency advertising, joining other tech giants in crackdown. Why? It's throwing away free money. Shareholders have a right to that money as a dividend or as growing value in their stock. Jack Dorsey has consistently misled that company. And it wasn't just him, it was the board. But either way, Twitter is a garbage platform that's run by a bunch of lunatics and ideologues. They have no idea how to fix this. And you know what? I think Elon Musk can. I think Elon, look at this. Even right now in the CNBC article, you can see the trending now. Twitter shares jump 4% on reports it could accept Elon Musk's bid as early as Monday. Take the deal, Twitter. Do it. What's the worst case scenario? You walk away with some cash. Elon Musk burns the thing to the ground. I don't think that will happen. But at least the shareholders are taken care of because y'all are burning it to the ground as it is. Now, Elon, hear my words. Unban Project Veritas. I was thinking about tweeting something like that, but I'm like, Elon needs to unban a lot of people. First, Donald Trump, obviously. Unban Donald Trump. He was banned because he said things that Twitter did not politically agree with. Donald Trump did not break the law on Twitter. So your politics should not remove someone. Free speech. Next up, we have Mr. Alex Jones, who was using innuendo and making... Oh, no. He got banned because he was yelling at Oliver Darcy. He's allowed to do it. If Oliver Darcy has an issue, Oliver Darcy can file legal paperwork against Alex Jones for harassment or something, but Alex Jones confronted him in a public space and insulted him. Posted it to Twitter, and they banned him for it. I believe that's what they banned him for. Unban him. I humbly request people not behave that way, but humbling requests is about all that you can do, or humble requests. If Alex Jones wants to be mean, he can be mean. I think people should be less mean because it's an ineffective argument. What's the point of going up to Oliver Darcy and calling him a rat face or whatever? That's stupid. But he did. And they banned him because he was being mean. No. Sorry. There are challenges here, and I am willing to see how this plays out. But you're allowed to be a nasty person. And I'll put it this way. Twitter's efforts to stop the incivility has not worked at all. All they've done is banned right-wing individuals who are less than civil. On the left, that's all they do. Taylor Lorenz doxed somebody, and Twitter doesn't care. They're like, meh. Linked to it to the Washington Post, meh. All right. I've had people post my address. Twitter goes, meh. Fine. If there are no protections under Twitter rules, if there's no equal opportunity under Twitter rules, then it should be a free-for-all. I'm wondering how Elon will handle this, but Twitter can drive major stock changes. It is a powerful, powerful tool, and everyone knows it. Elon Musk has apparently already started some shell companies for SpaceX, Tesla, and Twitter. I would like to show you this tweet from @TC. TC is the executive editor of The Verge, who said, "The free speech platform that is important is just the internet, which is why net neutrality and connectivity have been so important all along. If these folks truly cared about free speech, they would do everything in their power to make the internet faster, cheaper, and universal." Okay. So are you saying that Elon Musk does care about free speech because he launched Starlink? Because he sent satellite receivers to Ukraine? If there is anybody who is trying to get internet to everybody, it would be Elon Musk. He certainly does care about free speech, doesn't he? Now, I'm still waiting on my Starlink. It was supposed to come end of last year. Oh, what's going on, Elon? But, you know, I'll take when I can get it. We really need it because we're awaiting construction and permitting at Freedomistan, the new space. They got to lay down a fiber optic line. And our internet there is limited, so we really would like to get things up and running. Starlink would really help, but, you know, Starlink's far from perfect. But I'll take it. I'll take it. I believe Elon Musk really does care about free speech. We're going to have more updates on what's going on with Starlink coming up today, because either the deal happens or the deal falls through, or they open it up to bidding. This is going to get really interesting, my friends. Elon Musk, I think, will save the platform. Trending in the United States, Elon Musk buy Twitter. Did it happen already while I was recording this? No. So you never know. It's gonna come out, right? Twitter is poised to agree to a sale of Elon Musk of around, but we will see. We will see. Nothing is confirmed. Elon Musk buy Twitter is still trending. We don't know. All right. We'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up at 1 p.m. on this channel. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.